Right, what are you going to tell me about artificial grass, mate?
I hate the stuff. I'll be completely honest. I hate the stuff, but I do see that in very, very, very rare cases there is a case for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my old garden was north facing, had hardly any light, was on clay.
Yep.
In the winter, it just became the grass died basically all the time because of those situations. Now, for me, not a huge problem because I don't really care about grass. But for somebody who wants to see a nice lawn, I mean, that's probably a really bad example. But I'll use the example of somebody who's perhaps disabled or doesn't have an ability to mow the lawn. Now, I know your robotic lawnmower is probably cheaper than the plastic lawn.
Yeah, wipe that argument out instantly.
Wipe that, yeah, which is a very valid argument. But I can see there being certain scenarios where it's probably, the robotic lawnmower wouldn't have actually worked on that grass. It was too boggy.
Right, yeah. Well, that's got big wheels, mate.
Sorry?
It's got pretty big wheels.
It may have pretty big wheels, but I stood out there and my foot went into the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not a boat.
No, there's not a boat. It's not a boat. So, yeah, in that scenario, I could see possibly why somebody might, and I use that I use that term with a lot of. I don't want to agree with it, but I can see why people might want artificial grass.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you have that one. Because there definitely is the tiniest percentage of people,
tiny.
You say, look, well, you ain't gonna get nothing's gonna happen here. We're gonna have to use artificial grass.
Yeah.
It's the fashion of it that's happening at the moment. I feel like more. I feel like I've just signed this petition. I feel like it's getting more fashionable.
I have to agree. Yeah, I've seen out in Brighton actually. There's an entire street, and Brighton's one of the greenest places in terms of environment. But there's an entire street that all of them have got this horrible plastic grass set up, and it's on the bank, so you drive past it and it's at your eye level.
And
it's horrible, absolutely horrible to see.
Yeah,
except their grass always looks green.
There's a place that I go past, and on the way to Mersey actually, and it's been obviously laid by someone themselves, a DIY jobby, and when it gets windy, it blows up. It flies up.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Not a best example.
No. Yeah, I think that street in Brighton, there must be somebody who lives on that street that does it for a living. It's the only explanation I've got.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'd love to get someone that actually sells it on the show. Maybe
would anyone actually admit to that on the gardening show, though?
Well, I think if they sell it, I think they've got to have some sort of argument. They must come up to this argument quite a bit, right? When they go around and sell it, I mean, I don't know if they do door to door. I don't know how it sort of works. What, mate? They must get this argument a lot. I'd love to hear their side of this, why they think. I mean, aesthetically, I suppose Constantly looks good.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm just thinking about perhaps somewhere like a business or somewhere that always has to look good.
Get a gardener.
Get a gardener, but if it's in if the ground's in one of those areas where grass struggles to grow, very, very rare places, then perhaps that is another option. It's horrible. It's horrible when I start agreeing with it, though.
Yeah, I know. You don't want to agree with it. I mean, we have to be fair. There's probably is places where it's called for. But a good percentage of gardens, there's a good percentage that could just grow grass.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, it's got to a point now where, in new builds, you have the option of having turf or artificial grass.
Oh, that's awful.
That's mental,
That
isn't it?
is awful. Yeah.
What tiles do you want? And do you want real grass or fake grass?
I think I'll go for the fake grass, just to piss everyone off. It's the only reason I can see why you would go for it.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I could not be seen to be hoovering. I'd have to do it in the middle of the night. I'd be too embarrassed to go out and hoot.
The white coats will soon be coming after you if they see you doing that.
Can't get my head around it. Maybe it's just. No. I mean, I think it's a pretty. I've not had anyone in the comments say they enjoy it, but maybe someone might pop up later on tonight. I don't know.
No, there's only one person that I popped my foot in when I said I didn't like the stuff, who then admitted that he had it. Yeah. But you were with me at the time when I said this. This person had it on his houseboat.
Was it Max?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, houseboat is fine though. I think that's
somewhere where grass won't grow.
You said that in the comments earlier. I mean, I saw Max the other week, and he would be rubbish at growing grass. But yeah, like I say, there's points, but then that is like basically when you're doing it in that sense, it is a covering. It's like putting putting wallpaper up or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like an alternative material to build in with.
Yeah.
Whereas you wouldn't go outside and wallpaper your grass.
Yeah. Haven't you got some fake grass in your shed?
I have. I've got. I won't lie. I've got some. Where did I get that from? That was from a project that I did a while ago. Oh, that was from the taxi project, actually.
Right.
When I had the garden taxi, we greened out. I mean, I was very early on in my. All right, to be fair to me, why the hell did you bring that up? Be fair.
I just suddenly thought, you know how it goes.
Very early on in my gardening career, I didn't know the effects of this stuff. It cost me a lot of money, and I refused to throw it in the bin. So I've actually got a little bit of it under my taxi, still yet to be used. I need to put it somewhere, but I refuse to chuck it in the bin.
That's fair enough, because I think that's the worst thing. If you threw it in the bin, then that is the worst thing about plastic grass.
Yeah,
because it's. I know plastic has a bit of a bad reputation as of lately, but plastic is actually quite a good material used in the right way. It's this disposal of plastic that's really the problem.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Well, I think plastic is a great material. I think people demonize it too much. It's an amazing material for the right uses. Yeah.
But of course, grass, it's a living material. It grows, it dies, well, it shouldn't die, but it does. But more importantly, I always think for nature, the birds and everything, they'll come down and go into that grass. Would they do the same with plastic?
Well, what they do, there's nothing for them to do, is there?
Exactly.
I've heard of stories of people watching birds confused.
Really?
Into obviously they land and they're confused. They can't get into it. I suppose there's nothing in it.
Well, I can see why birds would fall for that, because it. Sorry.
April Fools.
April Fools. Yeah, but to them it just looks like it does, because it does look quite similar to grass, normal grass. So I can see a bird who doesn't understand the concept of plastic falling for it and thinking, I might be able to find a nice little tasty worm down there. Hang on, can't get into the ground. What's going on here? It's just grass.
No. Oh God. I don't know, man. I've signed the petition though. I don't know. 100,000 it needs to get. It's only got 11,000.
I know. I think the trouble with a lot of these positions, that's easy for me to say. The trouble with a lot of these petitions, they've got to really go for it, and people have to be really fired up to want to take it to the next level. And I think it needs like a national coverage to really become at the front of people's eyes, and that's what kind of happened with Blue Planet and plastic in the. What was that, 18 months ago, I suppose, that came out, and all of a sudden plastic, everyone saw it and realised how bad it was.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen photos of I'll show it later on this stream, but photos of just piles and piles of old artificial grass just piled up, just sitting there.
Yeah.
Not doing it, just rotting away very slowly.
It's wrong, isn't it? That's the thing that annoys me about that, is that it's so wasteful, wasteful.
Throwaway society, mate.
Yeah.
There we go. But if you know anyone that's got any artificial grass which we're willing to rip it up, we got the grass seed.
We've got the grass seed. There you go. I mean, that's a great. I think that's a great motivator to get people to rip up grass. Offer them grass seed, but we got to find out the reason why they had that pot there in the first place. So,
yeah, that's true, sure, but I'll wager that it's been put down there just.
Some people, it's just for laziness.
Yeah, defo.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
I have no idea.
I think actually Mark's got a good campaign he could actually start up. I know he said just on this show, but I think he's got a campaign that he could.
I think so. I think there's something in it. It'll probably end up costing him an absolute fortune if everybody just went, oh, yeah, I'll do that. But I think it might just encourage more people to rethink their grass.